In a major breakthrough, protesting junior doctors in Kolkata, Vedant have decided to return to work, but only partially. In fact, the junior doctors of RJ Khar Medical College and Hospital have decided to resume emergency services, ending a month-long stalemate with the Bengal government.
That's right. The doctors, however, have said that they still feel unsafe in OPDs and they do not want to return to work fully yet. Now, this, of course, comes after the Supreme Court's multiple appeals and the Chief Minister's assurances as well. Even though they're set to get back to work, larger concerns of safety in hospitals remains. Of course, Radhika, the larger question of violence against doctors continue to remain, but certainly a major breakthrough there with junior doctors finally relenting.
Absolutely. Major breakthrough there as far as the entire protest in West Bengal is concerned by doctors. Let's go to Saurabh on this. Saurabh, you've been covering the protest over the last several weeks. Finally, there has been some decision taken by the doctors. They've decided to attend emergency services, but looks like they may not be attending OPD and elected operations. So doctors claim still unsafe in OPD. This is what they've said. So now they'll be joining emergency services from Saturday?
Yes, and the indications that the doctors would call off their protest was there from day one, and that is something that we saw, I beg your pardon, from yesterday, because that is something that we saw in the morning as well. Yesterday there were, the fans, the mattresses that had been brought in for the protest, for the dharna site, were taken away early in the morning. And then, of course, the doctors had announced that they would go to these flood-affected areas to start their clinics, etc., to start their services. And that is also indicative of the fact that, perhaps that agitation, the dharna at the Swasthya Bhavan, which has been going on for the last few days, would be called off. Now, yesterday late evening, just before midnight, the doctors called off their dharna. They said they would be returning to work. Their emergency services they would be returning to. However, the OPD and elective surgeries is something that also constitutes a major part of the healthcare system at public hospitals, and that is something that they will not do till their demands are met. Meanwhile, West Bengal is also facing a situation of massive flood, and it's a critical situation in several districts. And, these doctors have said that they will set up their clinics there. This comes after yesterday. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee pointed out that, she also wanted to start health camps at all these places, but she was constrained in that matter given the fact that the doctors had not yet returned to work. So post that, we saw that announcement from doctors. But yes, the dharna has been lifted. Today, there is a march from the Swasthya Bhavan to the CGO. The CGO complex is where the CBI's office is located, where, these financial irregularities, case is being probed. And also, tomorrow onwards, Saturday onwards, they return to work, but not for elective surgeries and OPDs. They will return to emergency services. And the doctors say that their protest will continue in some form or the other, though the indications that they would call off the dharna were there since yesterday morning.
That's right, Saurabh. So a breakthrough there as you're reporting, but certainly still, a mark of protest there, as the doctors say that they don't feel safe enough in OPDs. They don't, elected operations, of course, will not be attended to by doctors. But how is the government looking at this, given the fact that Mamata Banerjee had also appealed to doctors to return to work ahead of Durga Puja? The Kolkata police chief has now been replaced as well. So certainly there have been multiple assurances that were made by the TMC government there. So what's the government strategy now going forward, given the fact that doctors have finally decided to relent?
Well, obviously the government yesterday also, if you noticed the Chief Secretary's letter, several steps that have to be taken to ensure safety and security of doctors. And let's not forget here that there has been a horrific, brutal case at a state-run medical college and hospital, and everyone is concerned about that. And the safety of doctors has been in question in the state. There have been multiple attacks on doctors, and that is something that is a genuine concern. There is no doubt about the fact that that is a genuine concern that doctors have raised. So in that context, what the Chief Secretary has done is that he, of course, has issued directions to the Principal Secretary. That letter also was shared yesterday on what measures are to be taken, including setting up of CCTV cameras, police outposts. In fact, the new police commissioner Manoj Kumar Verma also visited the Tala police station yesterday, under which the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital comes. He also visited the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital to take stock of the situation himself. So obviously, all of these measures have been put in place, and the doctors hopefully will also call off, their protest regarding elective and, OPDs, because that also affects a large number of people, and these are poor people who come from the districts. Now, the doctors have been saying that why do they have to come from the districts to Kolkata? Why can't these facilities be given to them districts? What are these super speciality hospitals that have been set up in the districts? The fact is that a lot of referrals come to Kolkata because some cases are complicated, and those are the people who actually are suffering because their treatment has been delayed or postponed. For example, what's an elective surgery? Let's say a cataract surgery. Now, someone who has to undergo a cataract surgery cannot undergo it because it's an elective surgery. So these are the kind of things that obviously, will be something that, will continue to be affected. But otherwise, the senior doctors also, they say, have been pulling in for them. But again, this is an ongoing agitation, the doctors say, for their, call for justice for their young colleague who lost her life in a brutal manner.